just the officials pulling the guys up before we put them in the stage.
Yep, just having a bit of a look. So it will be Brian Alvizio and Simon Stevens sitting there. One from Redbank, one from Ripley. And SRS Liquid Waste sponsoring Brian, and Ipswich Industrial Electrical sponsoring Simon.
Yeah, so good to see a couple of local boys here and local sponsors as well. So
yeah,
great to see.
So Brian, A modified bike, big Kawasaki, 1400 cc's, and Simon says mind your own business. It's just a CBR.
Yeah, this bike of Brian's here all the time. I mean, if the lights are on, Brian's here.
Yep, we turn the lights on, he turns up. That's what it's all about. If you want to get good, and of course, you want to have a look up on the big screen. Have a look at that, the Pro LED screen up there, and you can see what the start line guys are doing. You can see what they're doing down the track. All this footage. You can see the preparation that goes on. Keep this track super terrific. And checking his tyre just to see if he's lost some heat. And it is incredibly important that these bikes do get a warm tyre, because they've got no width in those treads. There's no width in those tyres at all. So you can see the science that goes in with the trailing arm. You can see the extended trailing arm, and that works the bike. Some of the guys prefer that over the wheelie bars. The wheelie bars can steer you a little bit. With these things, I would think steering control remains with the rider. Whereas with wheelie bars, sometimes they can show you which way they want you to go.
That's it.
Without telling you.
I think some of these guys just enjoy the ride. They like trying to keep that front there.
Yeah, it's just craziness. And the speeds that these guys are doing is just amazing. Just amazing.
Well, when you're talking about 250 to, well, some of these, like Gary Ellis has nearly gone.
That would have been close to 300, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was getting up there 285, yep. You know, so when you're talking about that sort of speed.
And an old style bike too.
Yeah.
Old style bike.
Yeah, great to see.
Yeah, he'll be ecstatic with that.
Okay, so it looks like we've been given the all clear. So Brian Alvizio gives another quick skid, get a bit more heat into that tyre. Simon Stevens was waiting for him and we're ready to go.
And Simon was happy. Whoa, gee, that was all over, wasn't it?
Yeah, don't know what happened there for Brian.
It almost looked like it was diving on the front fork. So
009 light, so he's
hot. He's hot.
And his time is too. Actually, both of them. He went 10:02 earlier. Went 10:03 on that one, and a 10:11.
Yeah, for Paul Deroux. So they're pretty hot.
Next one through. Brian Alvizio's back.
And Matt Halpin over the other side. There's a whole bunch of Halpins. I don't know where the rest of them are.
Well, this Matt Halpin come in from St George, all the way in from St George to race here this weekend, and he's here regularly, actually, so
yeah,
he must clock up some Ks.
He does.
But it's Brian Alvizio out in front. He goes 9:31, so that's a half-second improvement on his earlier pass.
That helps, doesn't it? Yeah, stepped up to 15th qualifier. Matt Halpin stays.
40, so good pass there for Barbella.
Yeah, so a 10:08 there, and I'll tell you what. Let's see what sort of game they bring today, these guys in the mod bikes. So Brian Alvizio up against Paul Deroux. These guys regular competitors to Willowbank Raceway. They know this track better than... They know it better than me. I've probably only run down here a couple hundred times.
These guys are probably running Brian Alvizio anytime the lights are on, he's here. And Paul Deroux's here just as often. So these guys probably race each other 50 times a year.
So Paul Deroux running a 10-1s regularly and a 9-3 for Alvizio. Alvizio says, I'm just going to get out of the hole a little bit too quick, but a 0.42 light for Deroux. And Deroux will run it through for 10.15 and a 9.60 for Alvizio.
He gets the win.
Next pair of competitors, Brian Alvizio, the SRS Liquid Waste Kawasaki in the grandstand side of the racetrack. Johnny Lewis from Deebing Heights in Queensland. Have to find out where that is, actually.
Just down the road here, actually.
Oh, really?
Rob. Yeah, just the other side of Yamanto there. So a couple of locals.
9.74 the dial in for Lewis, 9.33 for Alvizio. And Alvizio having a bit of fun, but Lewis a bit of leg off action out there as well.
Double reds on the tree. Yeah. Both guys too eager to go, but unfortunately Johnny Lewis, the worst of the red lights, and he gives the win to Brian Alvizio.
And Alvizio actually has a great profile and gave us some information. Least favourite of Prominent Y. Anyone on a Harley, because I keep losing against them.
We've had a few.
We have, yeah. Brian Elvisio, once again, Brian, if the lights are on here at Willowbank, Brian's here racing this bike. He loves it. He can't get enough. Craig Banks, unfortunately, red light gives the win to Elvisio. He's going to test his dial-in right here. So let's see how close he can get to this 9:33. About 9:51.
The mile an hour is right. So did he roll off just that fraction? Hard to say. But
missed the shift or something,
yeah,
mate?
he's the only one that's gone slow.